What is transactional funding? It's how investors close deals without using their own cash. Imagine this. You find a great off-market property. The seller's ready to sign. The numbers work. The end buyer's lined up. Everything is set up for a profitable deal. But there's one problem. You don't have the cash to close. Maybe your capital is tied up in another project. Maybe you're a wholesaler trying to structure a double close. Maybe you're an investor who simply doesn't want to use their own funds. So what happens next? Do you walk away from the deal? Do you assign it and potentially leave money on the table? Or is there another option? Today, I'm going to explain exactly what transactional funding is, how it works, who uses it, and why it has become one of the most powerful tools in real estate investing. By the end of this video, you'll understand where the transactional funding can help you close more deals and keep more profit. Let's dive in. What is transactional funding? Transactional funding is a short-term funding solution used to facilitate things like double closes, seller carrybacks, or even provide funds for your EMD. The funds are typically used for a very short period of time, sometimes just a few hours. Here's the simplest definition. Transactional funding allows an investor to purchase a property immediately and resell it without using their own cash. The funding is not based primarily on your credit score. It's not based on your income. It's not even based on your net worth. Instead, the transaction largely evaluated based on the strength of the deal itself. The funder provides the funds needed in the case of a double close for the first closing, and the second closing repays those funds. Think of it as a bridge that allows two transactions to happen seamlessly. So let's go over how a double close would work. Let's go through a simple example. You contract a property from a seller for $100,000. You find the end buyer who's willing to pay that $120,000. That's a $20,000 spread. In a double close, there's two transactions. Transaction A to B, you purchase the property from the seller. Transaction B to C, you sell the property to the end buyer. The challenge is that the first transaction requires funds. That's where transactional funding comes in. A transactional funder provides that $100,000 needed to complete the purchase, and immediately afterward, the property is sold to the end buyer for $120,000. The transactional funding is paid back. You keep the remaining profit after fees and closing costs. Now, without transactional funding, that deal may never happen. With transactional funding, the deal closes smoothly. Why smart investors use transactional funding? There are several reasons you might choose to use it. One is limited capital. You may have cash tied up in other deals. Transactional funding allows you to continue operating without waiting for that capital to become available. Scalability. As investors grow, they often realize that preserving that liquidity is just as important as generating profit. Transactional funding helps them to keep capital available for additional opportunities. Now, there's a couple common myths about transactional funding, so let's clear them up. Myth number one, you need perfect credit. Not necessarily. Many transactional funders focus more on the deal than the borrower. Myth number two, you need to hold the property for days or weeks. Again, not necessarily. Many transactional funding transactions happen the same day. Myth number three, transactional funding is only for wholesalers. Not true. Wholesalers, fix and flippers, buy and hold investors, and commercial investors all use transactional funding. Myth number four, it's complicated. In reality, when you work with an experienced funder and title company, the process is often much simpler than people expect. So if you're wondering whether transactional funding is right for your deal, here's a simple plan. Get the property under contract. Step two, submit the deal to a transactional funder for review. Step three, work with your transactional funder to coordinate with title company. Step four, close your transaction, collect your profit, or now own your new asset. That's it. The key is working with professionals who understand these transactions and can guide you through the entire process. So, what makes a good transactional funding deal? The strongest deals typically have a clear purchase and sale agreement, a qualified end buyer if you plan on wholesaling it, a profitable spread if you want to do a double close, a title company familiar with working with investors, a DSCR lender who can work on your stack deal, clear communication between all parties. When these pieces are in place, the transaction becomes much smoother. Imagine never having to walk away from a profitable deal simply because your funds were tied up. Imagine being able to close larger opportunities. Imagine keeping more of your spread in double closes. Imagine building credibility with buyers because you consistently perform. That's what transactional funding helps create. It's not magic. It's not a loophole. It's simply a financial tool that allows investors to execute deals more efficiently. And when used correctly, it can become a valuable part of your investing business. If you have a deal that you're trying to structure and you're wondering whether transactional funding is a fit, don't guess. Submit the deal. My team and I review transactions every day, and we're happy to take a look at your situation. Even if you're not sure whether your deal qualifies, reach out. The best deal to submit is the one you're working on right now. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and share it with another investor who needs to know about transactional funding. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.